Signal battles Facebook for an ad campaign, Microsoft removes Adobe Flash Player from Windows 10, and is Fastly still a good buy? All this and more on this week's Invest Roundup. Hi, it's Terry and welcome to another episode of Invest Roundup. If you saw Saturday Night Live last week, you probably saw that Elon Musk has gifted his mother with Dogecoin for Mother's Day. That was kinda endearing, I guess, but Dogecoin holders are not too impressed because during his opening monologue, the price of Dogecoin fell from 70 cents to 49 cents. Ouch. Meanwhile, the last standing OG for an external hard drive, Seagate, is reinventing itself for the booming cloud business. Anyway, let's get into this week's news. Disclaimer. Whatever stock or news we talk about is not a recommendation to buy or to sell. These are all just news we deem important, things we think you need to know if you've invested in the stock market or if you intend to invest. First news item, we bid goodbye to Adobe Flash Player. It's bye-bye Adobe Flash Player in 2 more months, for Windows 10 users at least. Microsoft has announced that the update for removal of Adobe Flash Player will become mandatory this summer. Silver lining for those who grew up playing games on the Flash Player though, those games will not be completely gone as they will now be preserved on archive.org. Yay! On the stock market front, investors are now holding their breath to see if the company will beat their earnings yet again next quarter in June. Because in the last 2 quarters, the company has seen a nice streak of beating earnings estimates. For the most recent quarter, Adobe was expected to post earnings of $2.79 per share, but it reported $3.14 per share instead. The thing about victory though is that it's almost never guaranteed. Yes, Adobe's business is growing well, but aside from continuously growing the business, Adobe now also have to compete with Twilio, which has been dubbed the next Adobe and Salesforce in the customer 360 space. As competition gets more and more stiff in the tech industry in gaining customers' data, we do ask ourselves sometimes, how long can Adobe last? Good news is they are still looking pretty darn good in the stock market at the moment. If you're not a dividend investor, and they're golden on the potential risk because they're considered a low-risk investment at the moment. Second news item, we revisit our David and Goliath tale, Signal versus Facebook. Catfight. Remember a few months back when Elon Musk blew up the internet with his 2-word tweet, use Signal, and people started signing off WhatsApp? Well, it turns out, now Signal's got a bone to pick with the owner of WhatsApp itself, Facebook. The story, it's basically just about an ad campaign. According to CNBC, it all started when Signal attempted to advertise on Instagram, which seems pretty harmless, except the problem was, the ad campaign was to show Instagram users how Instagram and Facebook are regularly collecting and manipulating their data for advertising purpose. The simple ads, according to Signal, were meant to be thought-provoking and would simply display some form of information collected about the viewer, like this. Unfortunately for Signal, Facebook was allegedly not too crazy about this ad campaign, which was later blocked and the ad account disabled. Facebook spokesperson have described the ad campaign as a stunt and claimed that Signal had never actually tried to run the Instagram campaign. The spokesperson also responded to Signal's screenshot of their account being blocked, stating they were from an early March campaign when the ad account was briefly disabled for a few days for an unrelated payments issue. Now, we don't know who's right or who's wrong here, but here's an irony behind all this drama. One of Signal's biggest backers is by WhatsApp founder Brian Acton, who left the company in 2017, and also the person who tweeted, "It is time. Delete Facebook," during Facebook's Cambridge Analytica scandal back in 2018. Marvel Cinematics, maybe there's your next movie. Facebook's share price has been on the downward trend in the last 3 weeks, but there's nothing too drastic at the moment considering they've increased more than 2-fold since the beginning of last year. They are also still considered a medium risk investment, as there are still some potential risk in their income statement and balance sheet. And you know what's not a medium risk investment? Following this channel, because there's no risk following us at all. Smash that subscribe button below and follow our weekly videos to help your investments long-term growth. We promise we've got good stuff for you every week. Final news item, is Fastly still a good buy? Last week, the stock that was already trending downwards in the last 3 months downright crashed. Face down from $58 on Wednesday to $42 the next day. Before this, the company already got their first downgrade when an analyst downgraded his rating for the company from outperform to perform, apparently due to signs of slowing traffic on the company's network. He also added that while the company could still hit Wall Street's estimates for the first quarter, it'll be much more conservative in the second quarter as things start to open up and everyone heads outside, which means less and less time online. Things did look up for a short while for Fastly early last week when they unveiled a new storage solution called Nearline Cache, designed for organizations in the media, gaming, and software sectors. any organization that have large content libraries for that matter. This solution is meant to enable these companies to innovate at scale and provide the high performance that they need. Sadly, the market didn't get much time to soak in this news because on Wednesday, when the company announced their financial results for the first quarter, the market reacted again. According to the Barron's, even though the company did sort of hit Wall Street's revenue forecast of $85.1 million, the company's share price took a big hit when it announced a rather disappointing financial projection for June, and the departure of the CFO without providing any specific reason for his exit. The good news is, thanks to this dip in the share price, the company is now undervalued again. With the intrinsic value of $54.84, the company's share price is now only at $41.88, which gives us a 23% margin of safety. So, those are the 3 important investment news we had to share with you this week. Once again, we encourage you to get more information if you'd like to act on any of the companies we shared about earlier. Comment below and tell us what you'd like to see on Invest Roundup and share this video with your friends, especially those who are vested in the stock market. We'll see you next week.